Hello and welcome to this webinar on selling strategies using 3XM products with Roland Royal, CEO of 3XM. And the agenda for this webinar is as follows. First, I'll introduce you to TED, and TED stands for Totally Endless Designs. We'll then discuss the whole principle of price framing and how a proper price framing strategy can help you with your upselling in studio. We'll then introduce you to our new Premium Colors range for those of you who haven't seen Premium Colors yet. I'll then discuss how in the development of Premium Colors, how we introduced upselling within the actual product. I'll introduce you to the new Essentials range. The Essentials range has been designed for the photographer who's doing photo booths or commercial shoots or needs a quality USB presentation kit but at a lesser cost per unit. I'll introduce you to our new wooden products. Our new 6x4 wooden USB mount box is absolutely flying with clients who are using it. It's going down really well in the market. I'll then discuss with you how you can use our Essentials, Signature and Premium USB boxes as an upsell opportunity. We'll then have a look at the Premium Colors 6x4 and 6x4 wooden box and how wedding photographers are using this to solve a problem and request they're getting from their clients all the time. And that request is, and I'm sure you've had it, the bride and groom asking you to design a separate parent album for each set of parents. So we'll talk about that a little later. The final thing we'll talk about with regards to Premium Colors is how our USB mount box is being used as an entry-level wedding album. So I'm sure you're like a lot of photographers, so you've spent time and you've measured the time that you put into the whole wedding album design process. Well, the Premium Colors USB mount box has been designed to fill a gap there in terms of saving you time, yet giving your client a product that they truly treasure. We'll then discuss the Signature mount box, which takes 10 mounted prints, and how Premium Colors that takes 20 mounted prints sits just above Signature mount box, and the Premium box acts as an upsell for you to sell more images than you do in your Signature box. We'll then discuss branding options, and we can brand to you, your client, and we have a whole range of branding styles all linked back to the individual products. We'll then discuss the reveal wall, and the reveal wall, for those of you who haven't yet seen it, concept that was developed by Sue Bryce. Sue Bryce is a New Zealand photographer based in California, and she's one of the top portrait photographers now in the world. You've probably seen Sue Bryce on Creative Live, but for those of you who haven't, Sue is from New Zealand originally, and she now has her studio in California, and her top selling package is her mount presentation box, which she sells for $3,000 US. So during this presentation, I'll show you how Sue goes about selling her photography using her reveal wall and how the 3XM product fits within that sales process. We'll then have time for questions and answers. And the final piece, we all like to give out presents at 3XM, and we have a very special present for you today, and that is 20% off any orders that you place between now and the end of April. At the end of the presentation, I'll give you that voucher code. Right, let's get started. And I'm sure you've seen some of our advertising and our teasers before we launched TED. But TED was based on the principles that you photographers have told us over the last year since we launched our new products. And what you've told us is that you want your presentation products to be different than your competition. You want your presentation products to differentiate you in the market. You want your presentation products to reflect your brand. You also said that you wanted to get creative with those, and you wanted to be those products to reflect you. You wanted different branding styles. Some photographers want to brand to themselves, some want to brand to their client, some want to dual brand. So we've taken on board all that creative desire on your behalf, and we've built all that within TED. And the final piece, and probably the most important piece from our perspective, is the whole principle of selling. At 3XM, we promise to make your selling simple. And when we design products, we want to make sure that we have products that will help you to sell in studio, and more importantly, to upsell in studio. So this is the second set of ads you've probably seen. So we want TED to allow you to be different, to be you. We want TED to allow you to get creative. And most importantly, we've designed TED so that you can design to sell. So this is just a short introductory to TED. So as I said already, it stands for Totally Endless Designs. And now you can design a pack truly unique to you. And there's 60,137 possible combinations now across our various range of USBs, our various range of boxes, our lids on USBs, our presentation bags, the inserts that you might put that USB into, and of course, more importantly, the branding style, whether that's you want to foil your brand logo, whether you want to print it in black, white, and color, whether you want to laser engrave. We have all those options available to you. And there's now 60,137 combinations with TED. So let's think TED, and let's do a quick demo of TED for you. Okay, so welcome to TED. TED welcomes you when you come in. Just to let you know, we have a competition as well, which allows you to win your creation that you design with TED. And all you have to do is create it, screenshot it, go onto our Facebook page, click on the competition link, and you'll be able to enter that. And we have 10 prizes. On the 24th of April, or 25th of April, sorry, apologies, we announce the 10 winners, and you can win your own pack. Okay, so let's just have a quick look at TED. So this is TED, and to get started with TED, you choose the range that you want to start your build in. So if you want premium colors, it automatically defaults to premium colors when you come in here. If you want our signature range, you just click on signature, and we get started with signature. The same for wood, and the same for essentials. So you just click those along the top. So let's go back to premium colors for a second. And I'm going to imagine here that I am a wedding photographer. And my brand is very, how would I describe it? My brand is important to me. I want it to reflect me, and I'd like my packaging to reflect that as well. So I know the first thing you do is you choose your box type, and I know that I'm going to go for the mount box, and I also know that I'm going to go for the duck egg color. The duck egg is the new in color. We have other colors too though, grey, and they say grey is the new ivory at the moment. And then of course we have black, classic black. We have navy, we have ivory, and of course we have red. Okay, so let's get started, and I'm going to go with duck egg. So the next step then is just to choose your USB type, and as you know, you'll see this build here right in front of your very eyes. So you're all probably familiar with our heart and our twist. You'll see it changing here, and in twist we have different color stones. But I know I want a crystal USB, and I know I want a duck egg cap to match it. So there's 13 different cap colors there, so you can mix any of the crystal USBs with any of the caps. The insert, I'm happy enough that it's ivory, because the duck egg box has ivory material here. The only two boxes that are black in here, where you might want to change from the ivory to the black, is the red one and the black one. So I'm going to stick with ivory in that. I'm happy with that. And the gift bag, you know, will I go with ivory? No, I'm going to go into duck egg and a bit of ivory. I think that matches in beautifully, and I'm happy with that. So the next step is the mounts. So of course with this product you can choose to have no mounts and just put prints. And this will take quite a number of 10x8 prints, 250 odd. However, photographers do put less in it, and they just tie a bit of ribbon around it. The other option, of course, is to go for the mounts, and it'll take up to 25 mounted prints. Now, we ship the product with 20 mounted prints, but you have two choices of aperture here. So the overall size is 10x8, which is a standard frame size for your client if they choose to frame one of the pictures. This is the 7x5 mount, so there's a little bit more room around the aperture. We do it in 8x6 as well. Now, I prefer the 7x5 with the extra bit of room, so I'm going to go with that product. And of course you can change your mount color. I'm going to stick with the ivory. If it was a studio sample for you to display and you want to offer your clients some choice, you might go for a 50-50 mix of mounts, where we give you 20 mounts in black and 20 mounts in ivory. But it is a live product, so I'm just going to stick with that. And I'm happy I have my mounts sorted now. And the next stage is box branding then. So the box branding, there's various different branding types. If you click on that info bar, I'm not going to play it now, there's a lovely video here that will play out exactly, show you some branding styles and all that. And there's some recommendations here then of what looks well in each box. There's also an opportunity to download the artwork guidelines, which you can read if you wish, and then there's template downloads. So the template downloads are actually here. So it just allows you to download a template and to build it in Photoshop or in Illustrator, and you can just build your branding and your size and all that you can see what it looks like. So I know that so I have a choice of 9 different foil colors if I want to foil my logo on it or foil my client's details. I can print, of course, in color black or white on it, or I can laser engrave, and laser engrave is my favorite, so that's what I'm going to pick. So the next step then is you may have your artwork already on the system. If you do, you just click here, it'll show you the artwork there. However, I don't. So I'm just going to upload some artwork for that. And all I do is click the upload. I go and choose my artwork file. And I know I have some artwork in here. And of course, you'd be disappointed if it wasn't a 3XM logo that I uploaded. So we'll upload this one. We'll choose that, upload, and it just uploads that artwork. Now this is uploading a JPEG. If I uploaded an AI file, it won't show me the preview image, but it will be up there. So the next step, because I've chosen a crystal USB, I can laser engrave this crystal USB. So the next step then is I am going to engrave. And again, I can choose artwork that I've already uploaded, or I can upload new artwork. So I'm going to upload some new artwork for that. Let's just go choose that. And in this case, I am going to choose an AI file, simply to give you the experience of what it looks like if you do put up an AI file, and you don't get too upset when you don't see a preview or you're not quite sure. So there's an AI file, so I'm uploading that, and at the moment we can't display an AI file, but it will upload, and when it uploads you'll see the name appear here as my selection. So that's it then built. So that's TED, and you can do that then across any of our ranges. We also have some design inspirations here, so let's just have a look at that in more detail. So if I go to signature, down here there's some design inspirations just to get you started if you want to get started quickly. So you might say, I like the look of that one, so I'm going to go with that. But you can still, if you want to change something in there, you might say, I like that, but I'm going to change the bag. I want a solid ivory bag, and you're good to go. So there's plenty of design inspirations per product in there as well. So that's TED. I hope you enjoy TED. Totally endless designs, over 60,137 combinations that you can combine any of the components, build it right in front of you, order, and we'll get that out to you. Products that sell. So let's talk about price framing now and the principle of price framing. So price framing, I suppose there's 2 rules with price framing. The first is to think about the power of 3 and not to forget 4. So never less than 3 and not more than 4. So a lot of photographers, when I see their price lists, they have so much choice for their clients that their clients just can't make up their mind what to buy. I don't know if you've had that problem, but what I suggest you do is that you lock yourself away, you put on your client's shoes, and you look at your price list and look at it to see, does it make sense to you, not as the photographer, but as an end client. If you didn't know your price list, does it make sense to you? But the principle of 3 has come from a lot of research that has been done on selling product directly to consumers. And I'm going to share a little story with you. It's actually live research that was done in the States, and the company in question made coffee machines, and they had 2 coffee machines in the market. Their entry-level coffee machine was $85 US, and then their more expensive coffee machine was $120 US. And what actually happened after they launched these coffee machines was they found that 95% of their sales was for the cheaper coffee maker, and people just weren't buying that $120 coffee maker. So they studied this, and they started to get some consultants in and who knew about price framing, and they started to get advice. And the consultant said, what you need to do is you need to introduce a higher priced coffee machine, a go bit higher, and if you do that, you will sell more of your $120 coffee maker. So they wanted to do that because they made more margin on their $120 coffee maker. So they introduced a new coffee maker, a third one, that they put out at $250. So what do you think happened? What actually happened was 70% of their sales moved from their $85 coffee maker to their $120 coffee maker, simply because they put in that higher priced item. So that's the principle of price framing, and why you should always have 3, because what you'll find is that 70% of your sales will happen in that middle package. And if you already have 3 packages, I'm sure you find that already. Now, I like 4, and the reason why I like 4, let me explain the reason why. Quite often with 4, if you've got the 4 price strategy, you put in a package at the very top that you know you probably won't sell, but simply by putting it in there, it sells more of what would be your top package, so that third package. So let me give you a little example. So we have worked with some wedding photographers who offer a digital image service and offered wedding albums, and they had 3 packages. So they had their digital image service, then they had their wedding album, their first wedding album, and their second wedding album, which was a more expensive product. So we suggested to them what they do is that they have an upsell for their digital image service, which is our premium mounting USB box. So 20 mounted prints with the digital files. Then they have their wedding album, and then at the top end they put in their more expensive wedding album and possibly a piece of wall art. And that alone would ensure they sell more of what was originally their top wedding album package. I hope that makes sense. So we've seen that work in market. So just think about it, have a look at your price list, revisit it, and just consider that price framing strategy of definitely 3, no less, and no more than 4. So this is Premium Colors. For those of you who haven't seen it yet, we've launched it in 6 colors. So we've done all the products, all 3 products in black, grey, duck egg, ivory, red and navy. And we've done 3 products, and within there we've introduced price framing as well. And the next slide I'll just show you some of those products. So we have the USB box, and we have them all in 6 colors, and they take any of our USBs, whether it's our jeweled or our crystal or our wooden USBs, they can all go in there. And then the upsell from that is our 6x4 box, and again we do that in all 6 colors. And this box comes with and without USB. If you choose not to put a USB in there, we can do that for you too. And then the upsell from that then is the beautiful mount box that takes a 10x8 overall size mount with 2 apertures, as you saw in the demo, to take a 7x5 print and an 8x6 print. And of course any of our USBs can go into the lid as well. So that's any of our wooden, crystal or jeweled USBs. So in there you can see we've automatically introduced an upsell opportunity, where if you're going to sell digital files on their own, you can start with this and then upsell to the 6x4 and upsell to here. And you might just go straight from here to here. Our essentials I mentioned a little earlier, and we do our essentials in 2 types of USB. So we do our twist and we do our leather, and we do the twist in both white and black, and we do the leather in both white and black. And you can have any of those USBs in either our black box or our white box. And then of course we brand both the USB and the box in either black on white, white on black, or we can do it in color, and you can combine any of our presentation bags across that. Price points, with all 3XM products you can order them in units of 1. However, there are price breaks and the price goes down the more you order. So just give you an idea, if you were a large volume photographer doing plenty of photo booths and commercial shoots, and you're going to use a lot of these products, the 100 price point on these are just £7 per unit before VAT, €9 or $10.50. That includes but your USB, your box and your presentation bag. So great price for the volume photographer. Okay, so next I want to show you our new 6x4 wooden box. This has been used for weddings and portraits, and it's for that eco photographer or that eco bride. They start, if you buy just 1 unit, at just £25, €33 or $38. And we can of course print on the box. We can print in color on the box. So on the color we can print a logo, or we can actually print a photograph. It gives a lovely vintage feel with the grain of the wood showing through the photograph. And of course we can laser engrave. We can mix, we can laser engrave on the USB, and we can print on the box, or you can print on both if you wished. So here's an example now of how you can use the USB products in an upsell scenario. And there's a lot of photographers who sell digital images, and we have a lot of photographers who use the product to help with the upsell of the digital images. So let me give you an example of that. So some of our clients, and these numbers can vary depending on what your sales process is and what you're offering to your client is, but this is just some figures I've taken out of the top of my head. But if you imagine that if your client buys less than 9 images, they get it on the essentials box. If they order more than 10 and up to 15, they get it on the signature. and then when they order more than 15 images, that they get it on the premium colors. Now we do have one client in the market, and she's a makeover studio. She ordered about 5,000 products off us last year. She's a really big photographer. She's in 3 separate locations, but she specializes in makeover photography. And what she does is she mainly sells digital files, and she actually uses the USBs as an upsell. So for those of you who are familiar, this is our dual twist, but are familiar with our dual tart. What she does is when the client buys less than 5 images, they get it on the essentials. But when they order more than 5 images, they get it on the dual tart. And when she started that in her sales process, the amount of packages that she upsold from more than 5 images went through the roof for her. And she's at that now for about 18 months, and it's proved highly successful for her. So if it works for her, I'm sure it can work for you too. So we talked a little bit about our 6x4 boxes, and at the very beginning of the agenda, I mentioned about use as parent albums. So when we designed our 6x4 boxes, it came out of photographers saying to us that with weddings, they always have the bride and groom coming into them and asking them, will you design us a separate parent album for each set of parents? Because the images that each set of parents are interested in are different for each set of parents, because let's be honest, they really want to see photographs of their own side. So we developed this product because it's not always possible for you to spend the time to design 3 separate wedding albums when you get that request. There may be the odd bride and groom who are willing to pay you to do that, but they're few and far between. So what we developed was the 6x4 box that comes in both the wood and comes in the premium colors, and that will take up to 100 6x4 prints. And for those of you who are already familiar with the 3XM selling gallery solution, where your clients can go in there and they can favorite the images that they want you to use, well, you can use that here too. So you can get either the bride and groom or their parents to come in, go to the gallery, select the images that they want in their box, and then you get a print file that you can export into Lightroom, which will put them all into one folder for you to go and get the prints made. So it just saves time and effort, but allows you to sell to your client what they want. So I mentioned a little earlier then about the premium colors mountain USB box and where this sits. So it's not just about portraiture, it works for weddings too, as that that package between your entry-level wedding album and your digital image service, if you're going to offer that. If you want, you can get these products without USB, although we'll talk a little bit later about the sale of digital images and how the top photographers now sell their digital images. They don't give them, they sell them, and I'll explain some of the reasoning behind that. So I mentioned about our signature mount box. This also comes as a USB mount box, and many of you are probably using that in the market as well. So it takes 10 mounted prints. So the reason why we made premium colors to take 25 mounted prints, it comes with 20, but you can add in another 5 you want, and I'll tell you a little sales concept we've come up with, especially for those of you who are doing newborn shoots. It'll be of most interest to you. But here then you can use the product as an upsell. So when your client buys 10 images, they get in the signature box, but when they buy more than 10 and up to 25, you can use the premium colors box. Most of you may be familiar with the reveal wall as well, and most of you may be familiar with Sue Bryce. For those of you who aren't, Sue Bryce is probably one of the top portrait photographers now in the world. She's from New Zealand, but she's based in California, and Sue Bryce uses what she calls the reveal wall to sell to her clients. So you'll see a picture here of a reveal wall. So her process is as follows, and she's designed this for the new generation, the Y generation. And as Sue says, the Y generation, they're not just the digital generation, they're the now generation. They want the stuff now. So she doesn't project any images onto a TV or onto a wall. When she sells her top package, this package she sells for $3,000 US, when the client comes to view, they view all the images that Sue has taken mounted on her wall, which she calls the reveal wall. And she said the absolute excitement and delight in our clients' faces when they come, when she shows them the reveal wall, and how they go about then to interact with the product. So they literally go over, they pick up the mount, they look at the print, they put it back. And part of her sales process is she gets them to choose the prints and put them into her box. The second thing that she always does is she always sells digital files. So I've had this debate a lot with photographers over the years about the meaning of copyright. And yes, you always retain copyright, but really as a business person, if you think about what does copyright mean? To me, copyright means that it's the opportunity for you to gain revenue by selling those images at some time in the future. And really it's not worth anything unless that opportunity arises. However, the now generation, and it's happened all the time if you're absolutely honest with yourself, the opportunities to sell images or photos you've taken that you don't sell there and then in studio to your client, it's rarely you get the opportunity to sell to them again. Now you might be the exception and you may have 99% of your customers who come back 2-3 years later and buy some more product. That's fine if that's the case. However, I really believe, and you need to measure this to be sure, but I really believe that when that happens, it's seldom it happens, and it's a big surprise to you when it does happen. So therefore it's important to maximize the sales opportunity there and then with your client. And the now generation, or Generation Y, they're the digital generation. So in their psyche is built the need and want to have those digital images. Now we're not saying to give them away, but Sue and all the top photographers, Kelly Brown is the same, for those of you who saw Kelly Brown recently at any of our training or on Creative Live, they sell digital images as part of their package for that reason. So how does that fit with 3XM? Well, it fits in a number of ways. So I've already shown you the products, how we can combine the prints in beautiful mounts presented in a box with the files that feel part of that box, and that the box is a keepsake box. It's a presentation box. It's something that they can keep for a long time. It's something that they can display on their counter or on their coffee table. And the clients love it. The consumers love that product. So one of the things, this will interest you, those of you who are baby photographers or do the shoot where you shoot a baby in the first couple of weeks and then you come for a 6-month shoot and then you come for a yearly shoot. So one of our thought processes around that is that when your client comes in to view the images or to view the packages, that you show them an example reveal wall and you explain to them that this is your top package. And we can pick any figure. It doesn't matter if it's $3,000 or £3,000 or $9.99. The price should be your most expensive package. And the idea here is that you say to the client, when you come in for the first shoot, you pay us a significant deposit on the package. And when we take the photographs, there'll probably be 10 or 11 images, and you choose 7 of them. And you take those 7 images and you put them into your box. And you pay us £400, and my top package is $9.99. And what we'll do for you for the other $5.99 is we'll spread that over 10 even payments. So when you come in for your 6-month shoot, you bring back your box and we take the photographs again and I put them out here on the reveal wall and you can pick 7 more images. So now they have 14. So when they come in for their final shoot, they've already paid for their full package. You've already been paid in full. You've sold that top package by able to spread some of the payment over time to them. And you say to them, go ahead there now, there's 10 more images, take 7 more, and they go through that whole sales process. And I always believe in, always give your clients something extra. And we don't want to give something extra for free always. However, what could you do? So you've taken, your client's now taken the 21 images in their box, 7 from the first shoot, 7 from the second shoot, and 7 from the third shoot. So the thought process here is you have images left over from all 3 shoots. So you put them onto the reveal wall and you say to your client, do you know what, I have a present for you. What you can now do is you can go and pick, this box is made to take 25 mounted prints. So you can now go and take an extra mounted print from any of the shoots, and you can do that 4 times. And all I ask in return is that for each mounted print you take, that you give me the name of a friend who you think would love this experience, this photography package, and who won't mind me ringing them and won't mind me mentioning you, that you referred me to them. How does that sound? So now you're getting qualified leads, you're giving your clients something which will excite and delight them, they feel they're getting them free as an add-on. but you're getting qualified leads that are good referral leads that you know that that person that you've just done the business with is going to recommend you to, and you have contact details to contact them and explain to them how your client had a great time and why don't they come in to see what you can do for them. So at the moment we're working in 3XM. For those of you who know, at 3XM we always try and prove our concepts in market. So for those of you who know Nick Pierce and know what we've done with the Facebook marketing, we're going to do the same with this. So what we're looking for is we're looking for some photographers who are willing to work with us in market to trial this whole system. We know it's going to work, it works in other markets, and we want just to see somebody put up their hands and say we're willing to work with the 3XM team to work at a whole approach from marketing to getting the leads in to going through this sales process with them, so that we can feed that data back to all the other photographers in the market. Okay, so I just want to finish up on this beautiful product, and I mentioned the idea that the digital files are part of the presentation. So it's all part of the presentation. It looks that it should fit there, it looks right, and this is a beautiful product to go with your reveal wall selling solution. So I've given you some examples today of how you can excite and delight your client. It's really important that you take some time. I've just given you some ideas that we have, but I'm sure you have many, many, many more ideas. But the important thing is to create some time for you to lock yourself away and to think through some of these ideas. And I'm sure you will find plenty of ideas that will excite and delight your clients and will create referral marketing opportunities for you. So I just want to talk to you about some of the branding options. So we've introduced a whole load of new branding options on our products. So on the essentials, we can print in color, we can print in white on black or black on white. On the wood, we can laser engrave. We can also print in color, either a logo or the client details, so we can brand to your client, or we can brand to both. So some of our photographer clients, they might put the client's details on the box and they put their details on the USB, so we can do that also. And then you saw a little earlier how we can print on the box as well. So we have some photographers who do fairy shoots and they use this product for their fairy shoots, so there'll be that beautiful girl dressed up as a fairy and beautifully printed in the box as well, so it works well for there as well. In shirt boxes, we have the most extensive branding possible, so we can of course print in black or color or white. We can also foil. We can foil in colors, so there's 9 different colors to choose from. Of course we can laser engrave the crystal USBs. We don't personalize the jeweled, but this is our new artisan branding that's gone down really well. It's the combination of foil and print. And we have some photographers who've actually done some of their logo. So if you take this one, for example, you could foil the heart and you could print the rest. However, to do that, you must give us vector-based artwork. We can't do it with JPEGs. We can only do it with vector-based artwork. And then premium colors, what I'd like to do is just play you a short video that just explains the premium colors branding options. Okay, so that just gives you an idea of the branding styles across all of our ranges. So we understand the principle that you have to show it to sell it. So for those of you who haven't yet got your Studio Sample Bundle, we have a very special price available to you. So in your Studio Sample Bundle, we give you 1 USB box, 1 6x4 box, and 1 mountain USB box, all for the total sum of £92 including VAT and delivery, fully branded to you. You can colour match or colour mix. So what I mean by that is you may decide, no, my branding is duck egg, I want all 3 products in duck egg. Or you can say, give me one in duck egg, one in black, one in ivory, and mix the colours across the different products. You can do the same with the USBs, so you can mix and match as well. You can go for all the one USB, or you might say, no, give me a jeweled in one of the boxes, give me a wooden in the other, and give me a crystal in the third. If you're in Euroland, it's €99 including VAT, and in the US, it's $99. Our signature bundle includes the USB, this 10 mounted prints with any of the USBs in this box as well, and then 2 USB packs. So a lot of our clients, why we put 2 USB packs in there, a lot of our clients may use a different USB for weddings than they do for portraits, or a different USB for commercial than they do for newborn. Or so basically it gives you 2 choices. And we do find that while our heart is very, very popular with a lot of women, the women who don't like our heart tend to go for wood. So that's just another hint. So that way, if your client comes in and doesn't like the heart, you can offer them an alternative. So that's the idea of the 2 packs. So again, we do a signature bundle for £40 including VAT, €39 or $50 US. We also have a wood collection, so Studio Sample wood collection. So we give you a mini wood, we give you a premium wood, which acts as a natural upsell, and a 6x4 box, all for £40 including VAT, €39 or $50 US. If you don't want a full bundle, so you don't want all those items, you can get individual products heavily discounted as Studio Samples. And on TED, when you go to USB, if you just click Studio Sample, that makes it a Studio Sample product. Now just beware that our Studio Samples come with no memory in the USB because they're for presentation only, for showing to your clients what is possible. And we also engrave or print on the bottom of the box Studio Sample. Your client never sees that. So time for questions. So let me just see what questions are on the webinar. Okay, I have a question which is, it's from John, and John wants to know, can I buy units of 1? Yes, John. You can buy all of our products as a unit of 1 at a time. However, we do have various price breaks, and the more you order, the cheaper they get per unit. And we have various price breaks. For example, it's cheaper to buy between 2 and 4, and if a price break 5 to 9, and various price breaks all the way up to 100+ pricing on all the products. So another question I have is the test that you want to do with photographers, how do I get involved? Good question. So at the moment we're creating a list of photographers who'd like to work with us to prove the concept in market, particularly the baby newborn solution. So if you're interested in that, we're gathering people's names at the moment who want to possibly do that. So what you have to do is email me at Ronan, that's RONAN, at photovalue.com. I'll give you that again. So that's R for Roger, O for Orange, N for Nectar, A for Apple, N for Nectar, at photovalue, all one word, PHOTOVALUE.com. Any more questions there? Branding styles. So yes, you can mix branding styles. So the question is, can I have a different branding style in each product? So if we take the premium colors and the USB, you might want to print on the box but laser engrave the USB. Yes, you can do that, as well as changing the branding on each. So you might choose to brand the box to your client and USB to you, or vice versa. Any other questions there? Let me just have a quick look. No, I think that's all the questions for today. So I thank you for joining me. As always, we have a special present. We like to give out presents at 3XM. So for any orders that you place up to the end of April, the voucher code 3XM Sell More, that's 3XM Sell More, will get you 20% off your total order value. So thank you for joining me in this webinar. I hope you found it of interest. We will be doing a range of different webinars across the year, across everything from social media training to sales training to pricing to how to use 3XM products to how the success photographers are having with our online selling gallery solution. If you've ever any topic you'd like us to address, please feel free to email us anytime or contact us via our online chat button on the website, and just send it in there, and Jenny and I will deal with that as we develop more webinar content going forward this year. So once again, thank you for your time. I look forward to talking or seeing you again soon. Bye for now.